What's up, everyone? How is it, my people? What's going on in the world? YouTube today. It's your boy here, Apollo from Down, Down, Up, Up. What's going on, my Pueblos? And it's time to talk about NXT Takeover Toronto 2. Oh, man, that was a good show. Very good show. Very good show. First of all, yes. 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 Give it the applause. Give it the applause. Wonderful. Was it perfect? Debatable, but we're going to talk about it. That's right. It's time for a results and review video. I have not done one of these in a while. If you guys remember, coming off of WrestleMania, videos were starting to appear less on this channel. Why? Well, I had other things going on, and I really just wanted to do predictions for a while, and then let the shows speak for themselves. But for NXT, and hopefully SummerSlam, catch that tonight. Speaking of SummerSlam, I believe the kickoff is back to 2 hours. I had heard that only 1 hour was supposed to be scheduled, but apparently that change has not been made. Disappointed. At the same time, though, are we going to get any bonus matches announced, or is the show just going to be a total improv? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, it's time to get into the discussion of TakeOver Toronto 2. First off, the usual surprises sitting around ringside. We saw Ricochet. That was nice. We saw Walter and Tyler Bate. I'll admit, not caught up, especially on NXT UK. I wonder what the plan is for that TakeOver. Because that's at the end of August, the 31st to be exact. So, can't wait for that either. But into the matches themselves. We kicked off with the Tag Team Championships, giving Street Profits all the credit, coming out in the Raptors gear, looking fresh. And that's sort of when it was going through my mind. Wait a minute, are they going to win? Because think about it, WWE's new image seems to be more hometown babyface wins. They have not been pulling the crap that they used to of late. So the Street Profits come out in Toronto's Raptor gear, and I'm thinking, oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, let's get into the match. So the match was great. Of course it was great. With these two teams, you really can't go wrong. Kyle and Fish, perfect chemistry with the Street Profits. And when it was all said and done, though, a spear from Dawkins, a splash from Ford, probably the only time I will be cheering a Ford in Toronto ever in my life. The Street Profits won. They retained their titles in glorious fashion. Oh my goodness, do you realize how happy I was to be wrong? Because think about it, if they lost, all they would have been is transitional champions. And just continuing their shtick on Raw that hasn't really gone anywhere for them. It's just been entertaining for us. But they won! They actually did it! It was so great. It was such a good feel way to start the show. Then they went and celebrated in the crowd. Good times are going. But here's the thing. With the result of this match given, I immediately knew I would be getting another match wrong, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Next up, let's talk about Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. First off, I owe both of those two athletes a major apology. If you recall my prediction video, I was sort of negative towards this match. I was thinking, is there a purpose to this being on the main card? Is it going to be something exciting? It was, actually. It was a really good match. Honestly, this was a bigger match of the night than I thought it was going to be, simply because I was expecting very little. I was thinking this could be a squash of some kind. But NXT delivers, and those two ladies delivered. It was a great match. Fantastic match. Io suplexing Candice on the table, Candice getting out of all kind of counters, and then kicking out of the moonsault. That was great. And then, of what I learned from a live event that happened recently with Io, she does have a new submission, and she utilized it for the win. It almost looked like Carmella's Code of Silence reversed. I believe the announcer referred it to a Koji clutch. That's not a Koji clutch, to my opinion. I've seen Sami Zayn use that move before, and that should be classified as a Koji clutch, not this. This was cool, though. I really enjoyed her having a new finish. She did need to win, so well done. She came, she made her point, and she left. Great. Great stuff. Also, she was playing the crazy character, realizing she couldn't pin Candice throughout some of the match, pulling her hair, making all the face expressions. Io, your heel run is great right now. Let's make it even better by getting back in the title picture soon. Moving on. Now, referring back to my Street Profits win, resulting in another match I would get wrong, it would be the triple threat for the North American Championship. Because think about it. Why would you have Kyle and Bobby lose the tag team match only for Roderick to still win the North American Championship? That doesn't quite make sense to the caliber of the Undisputed Era's legitimacy right now. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It was a great match. Props for the Dream. First of all, the Mountie. The Mountie entrance was great, but I'll admit I could not give a crap about the dancing and whatnot. I'm glad there was more Raptors references. Another shout out to how this match would go and who would win. But we didn't need the excess. The Mountie stuff was good enough. It should have just been left at that. Dream, strong, done. Amazing match. The counters, fantastic. Spots, fantastic. There wasn't a part of this match that made me feel disappointed. And then what happens? Well, after Pete Dunne hits a bitter end on Roderick Strong and looked this close to getting the title, Dream makes a desperate dive to hold the referee's hand up from counting the 3. Absolutely perfect. Strong does bounce back and hits End of Heartache on Dunne, but the Dream comes flying in with his elbow and steals the pin, remaining the North American champion. Oh, do you know how great that made me feel? Dream, stay in NXT. You're great. I hope his title reign continues into next year for all I care. Including another certain champion, which we shall sadly discuss right now. It was time for the NXT Women's Championship match. Now, I'll admit, the build was solid enough. Mia Yim taking out Shayna's friends, making sure this match would remain one-on-one. But what was this match? Sloppy, uncoordinated, boring. I hate to say it, but this was without a doubt the worst match of the night. And if I was being honest, probably the worst takeover match I've seen in a long time. At least a couple of years now, when I really think about it. Because this was on the verge of being something, and then Io and Candice's match in my head was on the verge of being less. But then they shot up, but these two shut down. It wasn't a great match. Mia didn't even come close to winning the championships. They both just worked on each other's arms for most of the match. It was boring spots that we'd already seen before. There wasn't anything new with it. And what was even worse was Shayna wins not with her regular clutch submission. She just wraps the legs around Mia until she taps. And honestly, that was probably the biggest pop of the night when the fans realized the match was over and we could move on to the main event. It was so sad. It was so sad. I just couldn't believe the little effort that was put into this. It bothered me. I'll admit, it bothered me. It makes me wish that they had just gone with some kind of four-way plan with Mia, Candice, and Io, and Shayna. But wasn't the plan. But we have moved past it. We do not need to dwell on this for the rest of our lives. I did have to express my opinion on it. The point is, Shayna Baszler is still the NXT Women's Champion. Mwah, beautiful. I hope her reign outlasts Asuka. That is saying a lot, but I think Shayna might be the one to do it. Her second title reign has been crazy. She won it in October last year. And it's August. And she's just rolling right through. So we'll see. We will see what happens next with her. Hopefully moving back toward Io, maybe Candice, unless someone returns or comes close to being a new face for her to challenge. I don't know. We'll see. But now it's time to move into the main event. Oh, what a main event it was. Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, NXT Championship on the line, 3 Stages of Hell match. It's a 3 Stages of Hell match. I'm calling it that, so accept it, please. First off, the kickoff for NXT actually had some liability to it because William Regal gave us a glimpse of what the third fall would be. And what did we see? We saw a steel cage. Okay. We saw barbed wire at the top of the steel cage. We saw the door padlocked shut, and we saw weapons all around inside the mesh of the cage. Now, if you were all thinking Ambrose Asylum match, you are dead wrong. This was handled beautifully. But before we discuss that fall, and yes, it did go to a third fall, let's discuss the rest of the match. Now, we kicked off, obviously, with the wrestling match. Adam Cole picked a normal one-on-one match with the usual rules of pins, submissions, countouts, disqualifications. Adam and Johnny did a great job here building the match through. I love that they kept teasing all of their spots that they had done in their previous matches, only to hesitate and not feel like they would cost themselves early. But then, as we move further into the match, Cole becomes a cheeky boy. He brings a chair into the ring. The referee gets it off of him, but as the referee is getting rid of the chair, Adam with a low blow, a straight kick to Johnny in the crumpets. 1, 2, no, not quite that easy. I was thinking, he kicked out. So what are they doing then? Adam goes back for the chair again, but Johnny gets it out of his hands, and Johnny hits him with a chair and gets disqualified right in front of the referee. Wow, ballsy move, NXT, because Triple H and Randy Orton tried to make this a thing, but failed miserably in 2009. Theirs was terrible for so many reasons. But this worked. And think about it. It's one of the rare times where we can actually get away with a disqualification at a takeover event. Woohoo! Moving on to the second fall, though, obviously Johnny must have felt pretty confident using that steel chair, because after a fight all over the arena and then finally coming back inside, Johnny would hit a lawn dart, throwing Cole's head into a chair in the corner, locking in the Gargano escape, and making Adam Cole tap out yet for the third time in a sanctioned match. So it's tied 1-1. It's time for the cage match. As the cage is lowering, Johnny has already brought in more chairs and tables. And the match. I don't even want to talk about it. You need to go watch it. If you have not seen their third fall, you need to go watch it and see what they use to their surroundings. It was handled beautifully. You need to go watch it. The final part of the match, though, is what I will discuss. Now, it looked at first like there was a table on top of the cage in a corner, but it was not exactly a table. It was more of a board that they could stand on. Adam and Johnny had set up 2 tables in the ring, accompanied by a ladder in front of them closer to the corner. I was really curious what this was going to be. There was also a sack that a lot of us assumed had thumbtacks in it. Not quite. There were brass knucks and bolt cutters, and also wire cutters, and Johnny used the wire cutters to cut some of the barbed wire. He was coming up to get Cole, trying to just get that stuff in his face, but they both fell off at the top through the table. And Cole got the pin to retain the title. Amazing match. I am so glad these two got to do another one, and I really hope we can look back on this and say it was the best series of matches to happen this year in NXT. Fantastic. Just like Johnny and Ciampa's matches from last year's takeovers, there's Adam and Johnny's matches from this year's takeovers. Fantastic. Fantastic work. Just so much dedication. Afterward, the Undisputed Era members came out to celebrate with Cole. Looked like they were teasing us, turning on him because he was the only one to leave with a championship. I am thinking that the breakup angle still needs to be considered. However, the fact is, it's not the end of the year. Adam promised by the end of the year we would get to see the Undisputed Era draped in gold. There's still time. Some way, somehow, there is still time, and we will see if that promise is delivered on. Otherwise, Takeover comes to a close again in Toronto and leaves us with a fantastic taste in our mouth. And like that, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought the best part of NXT TakeOver was. And remember to enjoy SummerSlam tonight. Hopefully a fun show that will captivate our interest. Obviously, the wrestling quality, not on par with TakeOver. It's just a fact at this point for most of us fans. I've accepted it. But we will see what the storylines deliver. Hopefully fun stuff. Thank you all. Make sure to check out the channel here tomorrow. Hopefully I will have my SummerSlam results and review video up. I still plan to do those, and maybe let you guys know if there's anything else going on for the rest of the summer on the channel. Maybe I do something new. I don't know. It depends on time and how things go right now. See you guys later. Thank you. Love you. Keep it real.